The galaxy was quiet, too quiet, and only a few beings knew what that silence truly meant. Far away from Earth, in the cold darkness of the Orion sector, the Zeroth Dominion held a secret war meeting inside their massive flagship, the Harbinger of Night. The council chamber glowed with blue firelight as alien commanders stood around a floating projection of Earth, a small blue world that they believed was weak and foolish. High Lord Varric, the leader of the Dominion, tapped his claws on the table with slow, dangerous rhythm. "Humanity will fall in one strike," he said, his voice sharp like broken metal. "They will not even understand what happened." The alien officers nodded quickly, terrified of displeasing him for years. The Dominion studied humans from the shadows, collecting signals, analyzing battles. And watching how humans reacted under pressure, their conclusion was simple. Humans were emotional, chaotic, unpredictable, and therefore easy to manipulate and destroy. They believed Earth was unprepared, cut off and technologically behind, but they were wrong. And they would learn that mistake soon. The Zeroth fleet began its silent movement toward the solar system. Thousands of warships drifting through space like shadows with teeth. No transmissions, no signals, no warnings. Just a wave of destruction gliding quietly toward a world that had no idea what was coming. At the same time, on Earth, life continued normally. People woke up, went to work, laughed, argued, ate breakfast, and scrolled on their phones, but above them, something strange was happening. Satellites flickered on and off. Radio channels picked up unknown whispers, and deep space observatories saw massive objects blocking distant stars. Astronomers reported anomalies, but governments remained silent. Something big was coming, and everyone felt it. Inside the United Earth Defense Command bunker, deep under the Rocky Mountains, Commander Aiden Hales stood in front of a black holographic screen showing the same fleet the aliens believed was unseen. Aiden watched silently, his expression calm but unreadable. He was known in every military circle as the ghost strategist, the man who never panicked and never guessed. He only planned, and he always planned ahead, behind him. A group of young officers whispered nervously. "Sir, the fleet is too big," one said. "We don't have enough ships, or enough time," another added. But Aiden did not look away from the screen. "They are doing exactly what we expected," he replied calmly. "Let them come closer." The officers stared in confusion, unsure why their commander sounded almost confident. They wondered how a human could remain calm while watching an entire alien armada descend upon Earth. Aiden finally turned toward them, his voice low but steady. "For 10 years we prepared for this day," he said. "The world thinks we are weak, but they don't know what we built." He pressed a button on the console, and the room darkened. Another hologram rose, a giant sphere made of crisscrossed lines surrounding the solar system. "This," Aiden said, "is Project Abyss Shield." The young officers stared with wide eyes. They had heard rumors, but no one believed it was real. The Abyss Shield was a network of hidden human technology buried deep inside Earth. The moon and artificial satellites disguised as space junk. Each piece connected through dark frequency channels the rest of the galaxy did not understand. Humans had created something new, something terrifying, something impossible to detect, and today it was ready. Meanwhile, the aliens reached the edge of the solar system. Their ships spread out like a storm made of steel. High Lord Varric raised his arms, declaring victory even before the fighting began. "Prepare the Doom Protocol," he commanded. "We erased humanity today." Alien officers rushed to activate weapons powerful enough to crack planets. To them, Earth was already a corpse waiting to fall. On Earth, the first global blackout hit. Communication towers died in seconds. GPS systems collapsed. Civilian flights disappeared from radar. Panic spread like fire. People looked up at the sky and felt something wrong, something heavy, something cold. Every radio suddenly turned to static. Every screen flickered. Every satellite went dark, but deep in the bunker, Commander Aiden simply whispered, "They have entered the zone." One officer swallowed hard. "Sir, what do we do now?" Aiden smiled for the first time. A small, sharp smile that carried both courage and danger. "Now," he said, "we begin the silent countdown. above Earth. The alien fleet charged its weapons, bright red energy gathering along the edges of their warships. One alien officer spoke nervously. "My lord, we detect strange distortions around the solar system." Varrock dismissed him. "Ignore them." But the distortions grew stronger. Pulsing like something alive, far below Aiden Hale tapped a screen. A single word flashed in red. Armed, he raised his hand. "Start the sequence," he ordered. The bunker lights dimmed, alarms hummed quietly, and massive machines hidden under Earth's crust began to awaken with a deep metallic thunder. In space, the aliens watched Earth in silence, unaware that the trap around them had already closed. Varrock lifted his arm and shouted, "Fire!" And at that exact moment, Commander Aiden Hale whispered the words that would change the war. They came exactly where we wanted. The countdown reached 0. The trap was ready. And the galaxy's greatest invasion was about to meet the deadliest ambush in human history. Asterisk, the first strike came without sound, without warning, and without mercy. High above Earth's atmosphere, one of the alien destroyers released a beam of crimson energy that sliced through the sky like a burning scar. Instantly, global communication networks shattered. Satellites burned out, and entire countries went blind to the stars. On the streets of major cities, people froze as their phones died, traffic lights flickered, and televisions went dark all at once. It felt like the world itself took a deep breath and stopped moving in the United Earth Defense Bunker. Every officer stared at the live hologram of the alien fleet filling the upper orbit. They expected Commander Aiden Hale to panic, or at least show worry, but he remained calm, almost too calm. He watched the enemy closely, as if he had been waiting for this exact moment for years. "We are inside their kill zone now," one officer whispered with fear, shaking her voice. "Good," Aiden replied softly. "That means they are inside ours too, in space." The Zereth Dominion activated their second phase, from the Harbinger of Night. Wave after wave of drones poured out like metallic insects. Darkening Earth's orbit, these drones were designed to disrupt shields, melt defenses, and cripple entire armies in seconds. The alien commander Varrock wore a cruel smile as he watched the swarm spread. "To erase a species," he said, "you must first erase its hope." But Earth did not respond. No missiles fired, no cannons activated, no ships launched to the aliens. It looked like humanity was frozen in fear. Varrock lifted his hand again. "Preparing the next volley of destruction, begin atmospheric bombardment," he commanded. Earth's skies began to crackle with unnatural lightning as the alien energy beams charged. Millions of humans watched from the ground, unable to comprehend the scale of the attack. Parents hugged children, soldiers moved to shelters. Sirens wailed across continents for a moment. It looked like Earth would fall without even firing a single shot. But deep underground, Aiden Hale finally gave a small nod. "Activate Phase 1, he said. 3 officers placed their palms on biometric panels, and the entire bunker vibrated with a low metallic echo. Then, something impossible happened. The alien drones, thousands of them, stopped moving. Every light in their metallic bodies flickered, pulsed, and then slowly dimmed, as if something had reached into their systems and switched them off. On the alien flagship, panic erupted. "Commander, we've lost drone control," the Zereth officer shouted. "What do you mean lost?" Varrock roared. "They're shutting down. Something is jamming their core." Varrock's claws dug into the control table as realization hit him. Impossible. Humans cannot do this, but humans already had. Back on Earth, Aiden Hale watched the hologram carefully. "Good," he said. "VoidNet is functioning." VoidNet was humanity's secret network of hidden resonance nodes placed across the moon and deep under Earth's crust. It emitted a frequency so complex that alien technology simply collapsed under its influence. It was the first layer of Earth's ambush, and it had just neutralized the enemy's most advanced weapons. The aliens did not retreat, not yet. But fear slowly crept into their voices, "Sir, something else is happening," another alien officer said. "Our sensors can't scan Earth anymore." "What?" Varrock snapped. "It's like the entire planet is covered in a dark field." Varrock's eyes widened with the first hint of doubt. This was not in our predictions, he whispered on Earth. Aiden Hale's team watched as the alien fleet tried to reconfigure their scanners. They failed again and again. Aiden let out a slow breath. They think we are blind, he said, but they are the ones who cannot see. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the bunker. A new signal appeared on the hologram. The first human warship, Spectre, one rose from behind the dark side of the moon, completely invisible until it powered up its engines. The officers stared, stunned, but Spectre-class ships were prototypes, one whispered. Aiden shook his head. Not anymore, in space. The alien fleet detected the human ship, but too late. Spectre 1 launched a pulse torpedo directly into the heart of the nearest Zereth destroyer. The explosion lit the darkness like a blue sun. Alien officers screamed in confusion. Asterisk. How did they hit us? Our shields were active. Our scans didn't detect the projectile. Varrock slammed his fist. Find the source? But more human ships appeared. Silent and deadly, emerging from shadows the aliens could not see. Spectre 2, Spectre 5. And the massive war cruiser Atlas Rising broke formation and aimed at the alien formation. Aiden Hale watched calmly. They think humans fight with noise and chaos, he said. But sometimes, the deadliest strike is silence. The aliens attempted to retreat a few ships backward. But then, their engines flickered and died. A low whisper went across the alien bridge. Our exit path. It is blocked. What blocked it? Varric demanded. The officer swallowed hard. Space. Collapsed behind us. Varrock froze. He knew what that meant. They were trapped on Earth. Aiden turned to his team. Begin Phase 2, he ordered, for now. We control the battlefield and above. In the broken and flickering sky, the war for humanity was only beginning. Asterisk. The alien fleet hung in orbit like a shattered crown, pieces flickering with broken light. The once confident Zeroth Dominion now faced something they had never imagined. A silent enemy, an invisible force, a world that refused to die quietly. Inside the Harbinger of Night, alarms screamed in every direction. Alien officers rushed around in panic, claws tapping screens that returned nothing but static. Their scanners no longer worked, their drones lay dead, and their engines stuttered like dying stars. High Lord Varrock watched with fury as another one of his destroyers collapsed in a burst of blue light. Find the attackers, he roared. I want the humans captured and dissected, but no answer came. Because no one could find what they could not see far below in the underground bunker. Commander Aiden Hale kept his calm gaze fixed on the hologram. Human warships cloaked, silent, and deadly moved through space like shadows swimming through water. These were the Ghost Fleet, humanity's most secret creation. No one in the galaxy believed humans had mastered stealth warfare. But they had, and today, the truth was unfolding. Spectre 05 has reached the rear of their formation, an officer reported. Good, Aiden replied. Cut their communication spine a moment later. A pulse beam fired from Spectre 05. Slicing through the alien relay ship that controlled fleet coordination, the explosion echoed across alien channels, turning their entire communication system into chaos. Inside the alien flagship, voices overlapped in fear. Sir, we lost connection with the southern battalion. The west flank isn't responding. Our ships are colliding with each other. What is happening? Varric slammed his claws on the table. Sparks flying, it is not possible, he growled. Humans should not be this advanced, but humans were full of surprises. Back in space, the Ghost Fleet shifted formation. Spectre 01, Spectre 03. And the massive cruiser Atlas Rising drifted behind the alien dreadnoughts like hunters stalking confused prey. Commander Aiden's voice echoed through encrypted channels. Do not reveal your full power yet. Strike from angles they cannot predict. The human ships activated gravity, anchor small black spheres that twisted local space for a fraction of a second. The aliens saw nothing, felt nothing. Then their warships suddenly lurched sideways as gravity bent around them. These shifts ripped apart shields, tore holes, and sent alien captains flying out of control. A Zereth officer screamed as his ship spun wildly. We are being pulled by something. No, pushed. Another yelled. No. Crushed, they had no explanation, only fear. Meanwhile, Aiden Hale observed everything with calm precision. His eyes scanned every movement, every shift in enemy behavior. He was not just fighting a battle, he was playing a chess game at the edge of extinction. And Aiden Hale never lost, Commander, an officer said. Alien flagship preparing another energy charge. Let them charge, Aiden replied. We will take their power from them, above Earth. The harbinger of night glowed with crimson fury as it gathered energy for a massive attack. But something strange happened. The beams started to form, then vanished, as if swallowed by darkness. On the alien bridge, panic erupted. Sir, the energy is gone. What do you mean gone? Varak shouted. It was drained by an unknown force. Varak's eyes widened. Aiden Hale, he whispered. Humans have a weapon that eats energy. He was right. Deep beneath Antarctica, Project Nightwell activated. A massive underground machine that absorbed high-frequency energy and redirected it harmlessly into Earth's core. It was humanity's shield against superweapons, a weapon designed not for attack, but survival. In the bunker, Aiden gave a slow nod. Nightwell is stable, he said. Phase 3 can begin. Outside. Something new happened, not silent, not subtle, but loud and unstoppable. The sky above the Pacific Ocean split open. A ripple of blue light pulsed across the water, as if the sea itself was rising. Then, a colossal human warship, the Titan Forge, emerged from a hidden underwater launch bay. Its armor gleamed with deep silver plates, its cannons humming with raw energy. The Titan Forge had never been revealed to the world, because it was humanity's final trump card in space. The aliens detected the massive human ship much too late. What is that? An alien officer cried. A human dreadnought, another answered with trembling voice. But humans do not have dreadnoughts. They do now. The Titan Forge charged its main cannon. A weapon built from forbidden science and human stubbornness. Aiden's voice echoed from the bunker. Fire! A beam of blue-white energy erupted from the Titan Forge, striking an alien cruiser head-on. The cruiser shattered like glass, pieces drifting away into the void. The alien fleet finally understood. They were not fighting the weak species they had studied. They were fighting something different, something evolved, something united. A whisper spread across the alien channels. The humans. They planned this. They let us come. This was a trap. And in the bunker, Aiden Hale watched the destruction unfold with quiet determination. They still don't understand, he said. This is only the beginning. The Ghost Fleet closed in. The Titan Forge roared. Earth's skies cracked with blue fire. And the Zereth Dominion realized they had stepped into the deadliest ambush the galaxy had ever seen. Asterisk, the alien fleet was no longer a powerful armada. It was a storm losing strength, a beast bleeding in the dark. And Earth had only begun to show its real teeth inside the harbinger of night. High Lord Varak stared at the battlefield with disbelief. In all his centuries of war, he had never seen anything like this. Ships vanishing, sensors failing, engines dying. It was as if the universe itself betrayed the Zereth Dominion. But the truth was far worse. It was humanity. It was their plan. It was their trap. Lord Varak, an alien officer shouted. More human warships are rising from the planet. Varak spun around, his voice trembling with rage. From where? Everywhere, the officer answered. From the oceans, from the deserts, from the mountains, from underground. Varak's eyes widened. That is not possible, he whispered. But it was, across Earth. Hidden bunkers opened like metal flowers blooming in a storm from the Sahara sands. Massive armored carriers lifted into orbit from the Arctic ice. Vertical launch bays cracked open with thunder from deep beneath oceans. Submarine hangars released sleek warships that shot upward like glowing arrows rising toward the sky. Earth was not unprepared. Earth was armed. Earth was waiting in the bunker. Commander Aiden Hale stood at the center of the strategy chamber. Blue holographic lines wrapped around the solar system like a digital web. This was the Abyss Shield in its full form. A trap designed not to stop an invasion but to swallow one whole. Aiden's voice was steady. Activate the full network. Officers placed authorization keys. Massive machines buried deep in Earth's crust hummed to life. A low vibration spread across the entire planet, as if Earth itself had awakened in space. The alien fleet suddenly felt a massive pull. Ships were dragged from their positions. Drifting like leaves in a storm, gravity twisted, space rippled, and Zereth warships crashed into each other in a chaotic swirl. On the alien bridge, panic erupted again, sir. The entire gravity field has changed. We cannot stabilize our ships. Our fleet formation is collapsing. Barak clenched his jaws. This is human technology, he growled, but how? How did they build this back on Earth? Aiden watched their confusion calmly. We used their arrogance against them, he said quietly. They believed humans were slow, emotional, inferior, but we were studying them too for 10 years. Humans mapped alien weapon systems, alien frequencies, alien propulsion, and they built counters for all of them. Not one, not two, but an entire chain of defenses. Each piece designed to work only at one perfect moment. And that moment had arrived, sir, an officer said. The alien flagship is trying to open a wormhole. Aiden nodded once. Block it. A massive pulse shot from the moon's hidden generator array. The wormhole flickered like a dying flame and vanished in the alien bridge. A terrified cry filled the air, Commander. We are trapped in this system, Varric's voice cracked. No, that cannot be asterisk. The truth hit him harder than any weapon could. The humans had closed every exit. The aliens had walked into a cage the humans built, a cage the humans locked, a cage the humans now controlled. Aiden raised his hand. Prepare Apex Protocol. The entire bunker froze. Apex Protocol was the final phase, the one humans hoped they would never need to activate. But today, they would far above Earth. Clouds began to swirl in unnatural circles. Electric storms formed over oceans. The air vibrated with energy. The sky glowed with blue light that reflected off skyscrapers and mountain peaks. Then, something enormous broke the atmosphere. Not a ship, not a missile. Something older, deeper, and more powerful. The apex arcs. 3 colossal pillars of energy that extended from Earth into space like glowing spears. Their light was blinding. Their power unmatched on the alien bridge. Varric stumbled backward. What? What is that? An officer's voice cracked with fear. Sir, those are planet-level weapons. Planet-level. Fired by humans from Earth against them. Aiden Hale watched the apex arcs fully form. His voice was almost whisper-soft. They taught us fear, he said. Now they will learn it. The alien fleet sent emergency signals across the galaxy. No one answered, no one could reach them. The Zereth Dominion was isolated. Trapped and blind, Earth had become a fortress. A cage. A perfect ambush. And now the final strike was coming. The bunker lights turned red. The monitors displayed a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire the Abyss Lance, Aiden ordered. The ground shook. The sky split open. The apex arcs ignited. And the galaxy would never forget what happened next. The Abyss Lance fired, and the universe seemed to hold its breath. A beam of pure white-blue energy erupted from Earth like a star being born. It tore through the darkness of space, cutting a straight line toward the Zeroth flagship. For a moment, even time felt as if it froze, watching the strike fall like the final judgment of a world pushed too far. Inside the Harbinger of Night, High Lord Varric stared at the screen in horror. He had seen planets burn, nations collapse, empires die, but he had never seen anything like this. This was not a weapon. This was a message. The Abyss Lance hit the alien flagship with the force of a collapsing sun. Shockwaves tore through its massive structure, ripping apart steel that once seemed indestructible. Every alien officer was thrown to the ground as the entire ship shook with the rage of Earth's final stand. Sparks shot from broken panels, alarms screamed, and systems died one after another. Varric pulled himself up, his voice shaking. How? How did humans create such power? But no one could answer him. Because even the galaxy did not know how far a desperate species could go to survive. Outside, the alien fleet witnessed their leader's ship dissolve in blue-white fire. Weapon systems collapsed, engines died, and their once mighty formation broke like glass. The Zeruth Dominion had come to destroy a world, but instead, they watched themselves crumble under the strength of a species they underestimated. In the bunker, Commander Aiden Hale watched the destruction with steady eyes. He did not smile. He did not celebrate. Humans were not fighting for glory. They were fighting because they had no other choice. "Begin the surrender broadcast," Aiden ordered. A calm voice echoed through all surviving alien ships. "This is Earth Defense Command," it said. "Lay down your weapons, or be neutralized." Most alien ships obeyed immediately. Their captains were terrified, confused, broken by fear they had never known before. But a few tried to fire again. Aiden did not hesitate. "Silence them," he said. And human ships moved with surgical precision, disabling the last pockets of resistance until the battlefield grew quiet. A deep silence filled space, not the silence of peace, but the silence after war, a silence filled with smoke, drifting metal, and the weight of what had been done on the alien flagship, which was now breaking apart piece by piece. Varric gave his final command. "Retreat," he whispered. "Retreat if you can," but his officers stared at him with wide, hopeless eyes. "There is nowhere to run," one said. "Humans have closed the system." Varric sank to his knees. In his arrogance, he believed humans were predictable, soft, emotional, but today he learned the truth. Humans were survivors, fighters, inventors, dreamers, and nightmares when pushed into a corner. In the bunker, Aiden Hale finally exhaled. 10 years of preparation, sacrifice, fear, hope, and silence had led to this moment. Earth had survived, but at a cost. Screens showed damage across continents, power grids broken. Coastal cities flooded from shockwaves, and thousands injured, yet the world still stood. "Humanity still breathed, Commander," an officer asked softly. "Is it over?" Aiden looked at the fading alien debris drifting across the sky. "For now," he said, "but the galaxy has seen us later." Earth sent a single transmission across the galaxy. A message broadcast in every known language. A message carved, not for revenge, but for truth. "We did not start this war," the message declared, "but we will finish any war brought to our home. We are humans. We endure. We rise. We fight. And we will never kneel." Across distant star systems, alien nations listened in silence. Some trembled, some respected, some feared. But one thing became clear. Humanity was no longer the weak species they once ignored. They were a new power, a rising force, a storm waiting in the dark. Commander Aiden Hale stood outside the bunker for the first time in days. He breathed the cold air. Feeling the weight of victory and loss together, he looked up at the sky, where the remains of the Zeroth fleet still glowed like broken stars. "This is our home," he whispered. "We protect it, and somewhere beyond the solar system." Whispers began spreading from one corner of the galaxy to another. A warning, a truth, a legend. Never attack Earth, because the aliens came to end humanity. But instead, they walked straight into Earth's deadliest ambush. And humanity was just getting started. Asterisk, asterisk.